Alright. Hello. Trying this again. So, technically, the moon phase is a waning gibbous, but it also says waning gibbous at 99.6%. And last night, it said full moon at 99.6%. So, close enough. Close enough. This is going to be. I'm going to try to construct a cocktail. I looked up a couple different recipes. I have a silly thing for layered drinks, but I thought of a couple nifty little tweaks to it to make it a fun little full moon Halloweeny cocktail. So the first thing is a bunch of ice. Oh, I think it's supposed to have a lot of ice. Okay, we're going to try to move it away from the green screen and put it right about there. First ingredient is pineapple orange juice. Oh, the name of the drink is a sunset moonrise. Keep that in mind. Second ingredient is grenadine. Now you can pour it in at the beginning to get a nicer separation, but they mentioned, or at least one of the recipe guides mentioned, pouring it through the orange stuff has kind of a neat effect. So let's see if we can get that. Oh yeah. Okay, so now we've got. I think I overdo it on the grenadine each time. It should be possibly a little subtler down there. The next ingredient is blue, and to be a blue layer on top. Now everybody says use blue curacao, which is a really strange and fancy way of pronouncing blue food coloring. Now use what you want, but this way we can do a little fun. Magic trick. Actually, science trick, but aren't they all science tricks, Your Honor? So take a few drops of the old blue in here. Maybe a little bit more. Now take cheapo vodka and your. Let's see if we can get it on camera here. So if we take, notice, clear vodka becomes. Oh, becomes blue. Becomes a sky blue. And that we have to, we want to pour that apparently gently into the top here. A little capillary action here to help. Oh, yeah. Like I say, this is kind of a dream come true, because what we've got here so far, pretty dang nifty. Hang on. Okay, so now this looks neat. This is the sunset part, right, where you've got the blue sky, yellow, and the red, and so there's a couple things you can do. So there's a don't worry. So you can go into it. We can stir it up a little. You can get sort of a blood moon effect, right? Or we can do a little move that I like to call nuking it from orbit, because let's all say it together.
It's the only way to be sure.
Thank you, Corporal Hicks. Nuking it from orbit. Okay, at that point though, what you want to do, pour more on top, and what you've got is sort of a midnighty kind of look to it. Now, the next move, this wasn't in the recipes, I thought of this on my own, just because I'm a fucking nerd. So we'll put some dry ice into it. I don't know if this will work. I haven't tried it yet. So we're gonna tamp this down. Get down there. And so we got us a little graveyard effect going on, right? And to top it off, garnish with a mermaid egg. Relax, it's not fertilized. Oh, and a little drinky. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that is That's heaven. So, speaking of lunar cycles, now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, Crazy Jack's gonna talk about his new calendar again, isn't he? No, not for a couple minutes. Put in some more dry ice. Ouch, ouch. Always fun. There was a bar in Portland that had these booths that were that looked like the inside of the Millennium Falcon. It was amazing, and I kept telling friends, like, hey, if we sneak in some dry ice and ask them for like a pitcher of blue margaritas, and then just dump the dry ice in there, have little fun sci-fi drinks. But I don't know. I don't want to piss off the staff that much. Okay, lunar cycles. You know, I've completely lost track of all the shit that I said last night. I hit record. I swear I hit record, and nothing happened apparently. I'm sort of ashamed that it took until later in my life, being obsessed with werewolves my whole life. It took dating a self-proclaimed mermaid werewolf. Now, I never got to splash salt water on her, and I never saw her under the full moon, so I don't know, but I suppose mermaid gets bit by a werewolf. You know, these things happen. But she informed me that, by the way, the whole werewolf story is very obviously this appropriation of males of a female story. The werewolf bit is about a 28-day cycle where you become more noticeably animal, and it's got blood and pain mixed in. Oh, and people call it a curse. Hearing wolf man, it just enrages me now. It's like, are you wolf man? Wolf man? How dare you? The term werewolf means man wolf. I mean, if we're talking about the rabies bit, right? That's the lycanthropic story we get from the ages past. Well, that's a one and done thing. That's fine if you want to make that a male in that story. You know, that's Old Yeller, except it's not your dog, it's your best friend, and that's why silver is used, because it's gonna cost you. So that's fine if it's rabies, but if it's a monthly cycle, a 28-day lunar cycle, well, that's not a wolf man. When you look up, okay, so lunar cycle and human menstruation, and so many people are quick to hop in there and tell you, oh, no, these numbers don't add up. They don't align. There's nothing. There's no alignment between the lunar cycle and the human menstruation. Really. So we do a quick search. The human menstrual cycle is listed as about 28 to 29 days. The lunar cycle, well, there's two different cycles. There's the sidereal orbit cycle, which is 27 days, 7 hours, 43 minutes. That's how long it takes to go around the Earth. But there's the phase cycle, which is about 29.5 days. So there's some weird wiggle room all in there, and the suggestion that there's no lineup is silly. Even niftier, human gestation is listed as being about 280 days or 40 weeks. 47-day weeks makes 280 days, and 280 days isn't 9 months, it's 10 lunar cycles, it's 10 lunations. So how did the calendar get all screwed up, right? I don't care, but here's how you know it's screwed up, right? So July and August, the Caesars, Julius and Augustus, right? So they get jammed into the middle. And why do I say middle? Because September is not the 9th month. September means 7. Sept means 7. It's the 7th month. October, octo, that's the 8th month. That's not the 10th month. November is 9. And December, deci, that's 10. December is the 10th month, not the 12th. So the whole calendar is a mess. So I proposed, of course, so glad you asked, I proposed, leading up to 2012, leading up to the resetting of the long count, the Venusian long count, December 21st, 2012, a new calendar. And so I started looking into stuff, and I was like, okay, well, Well, let's start trying to fix these months, right? These months aren't months any longer. They're weird. There's only one of the 12 cycles listed in the calendar year is 28 days, and it's the one with Valentine's Day. What's that about? So, okay, 28-day cycle. So, the very first thing, let's do a little bit of division, right? 365 days, 28 days. How many times 28 going to 365? 13. 13 with 1 day left over. 13 times 28 is 364. One day left over. Well, we know how to correct that because we do it with the leap year all the time, right? So we can correct for a day. Now, previously, I had suggested calling this new holiday last day, but this is a little reference to Logan's Run, but that doesn't quite make sense thinking about it. Last day, well, it seems to really indicate the last day of the last month. Okay, so then first day, well, that's the first day of the first month. So between them is this correction day. I don't know what to call it. We can call it correction day, or we can call it extra day, or maybe call it calendrical complexity awareness day. Whatever you want to call it. What it means is at the end of every year has a kick-ass 3-day weekend. Last day, correction day, first day. Everybody gets a 3-day weekend, end of the year. And then every 4 years, of course, you've got a leap day in there, right? So you've got every 4 years has a 4-day blowout, man. Last day, correction day, leap day, first day. And then keep the 7-day cycles. I like the 7-day cycles. It kind of squishes things, things get shifted around a little bit so that, your birthday doesn't end up being on Wednesday every goddamn year. It shifts around. To paraphrase Dr. Science, there's a fine line between arrogance and ignorance. I have erased that line. Now, wow, I'm getting drinking this here sunset moonrise. Sunset moonrise? Did I say that wrong at the beginning? Yeah, so I don't know. Sunset moonrise. I'll put up a little picture here of I don't know. I printed off a bunch of them. I've got them in storage somewhere. I did make this I did propose or endorsed this new calendar for the coming 5,000 years after after December 21st, 2012. I have amazing friends who made sure to get me to Palenque for the winter solstice 2012. Why Palenque? Are you nuts? Pikal, man. He ruled for 80 years in the heart of the empire, at the height of the empire. He's been bringing in tourist squads for 1,500 years. He's still bringing it into this day. Now, there was a big giant party. Alex Gray threw a big giant party at Chichen Itza. What nonsense. Chichen Itza's lined up with the equinox, not the solstice. That's ridiculous. Now, all well and good. So Palenque was just a beautiful afternoon in the state park. There was hardly anybody there, and anybody that would talk to me, and there must have been just about 12 people. I mean, there were a lot more than 12 people there, but I only interacted with a few people, and so anybody that would say anything to me, I'd grin at them and just say, "So, what brings you here?" You didn't end up here by accident. December 21st, 2012. And I would hand them this little thing that I printed out about my new calendar. To be used for the next 5,000 years. Don't worry, you probably won't be using it for another 500 years. No big deal. And there are corrections all through it, of course, to correct calendars. I think there's a 157-year cycle that you got to throw in another day. There's a few weird cycles you got to make corrections for. That's okay. Not sure if I had anything else to babble about. I'm so goddamn pleased with my drink. I've been wanting to do a layered drink, and a drink with dry ice for so fucking long. Now, if you got extra dry ice and you got extra blue booze, well, you just pop it in there, and now you got the sweetest. Hey, you remember that Wesley Crusher episode, Kobayashi Maru, where he had that buddy that was always hanging around him that Had that mist under his nose all the time, sniffing away. It just, you know, presumably his home atmosphere. I mean, maybe he's just getting high. I don't know, but it's pretty neat, you know. Yeah. Well, you know, nothing like ooh. Oh man. Now, everybody. So I buy dry ice every so often to play around with to show friends because I bumped into it by accident working in a printing factory. A lot of fires happen. A lot of CO2 gets dumped, and I noticed a few things. Like it's not absolute zero, right? You can juggle the stuff. It's not gonna freeze you instantly. It's so you can do all kinds of nifty things with it. So I got dry ice and you know, like the grocery store, and played around with a bunch. Now once it's all done and gone, and well, what's the water like? And the water becomes carbonated because it's CO2 bubbling away in there. Well, that's fucking neat. And then when it gets all the way down, the little tiny bits will suddenly be floating at the surface, and they'll be skimming along like little tiny old men. It's neat as hell. It's just a bunch of weird, silly fun, no good reason. Every grocery store has dry ice. Why? Oh, you still here? Ooh. So, here, wait a second. Oh. Hot water works better, of course. Hot water makes it go crazy, just bubbling away like crazy. But this, oh wow, you could call this little concoction like a midnight mass, or or you could throw in a blue mermaid egg, and once in a blue moon, you could call it a blue moon. What the hell? You know, I don't. I guess this was the. Do I have anything of that? I don't know if there's a way to do a Van Gogh Starry Night. I don't know how we get a Starry Night in here, but let me know if you figure out some way to do that. Find the old stop button.